The first 3 issues have covered the big 3 of Aussie car manufacturing: Holden, Chrysler, and now Ford. Is this XC Cobra the best of the bunch so far, or do you reckon the HK GTS or the E49 Charger were better? Before you answer, let's take a closer look. G'day everyone. The 3rd issue of the Australian Cars model collection is now available, and it's the 1978 Ford XC Falcon Cobra, which was a release of 400 special edition cars to clear Ford's unsold stock of 2-door XC Coupe body shells. Firstly, how's it measure up? I plugged the numbers into my converter spreadsheet, and apart from the width and the rear track, which were a little wider than what the real car scales to, everything else is pretty damn close, and within a millimetre of scale. There's more about this converter and how you can get it later in the video. So it looks like an XC Cobra, but how about the finer detail? It appears the majority of the decoration is a mask spray and tampo print over white body colour. The 2 shades of blue on this are not decals. Body detail like the indicators, door handles and fuel cap are cast into the body and then decorated. The Cobra snake is fine and clear. On my example, there's some overspray blue on the main body. It might polish off, but what you see here is how it came out of the box. It's got rubber tyres on 5-spoke Bathurst Globe wheels, which even have a tiny nib to represent the valve stem. Windscreen wipers are individual parts made of black plastic. The chrome trim around the grille, side windows and tailpipes is silver rather than chrome. That's also true for the rim edges, which should be a machined finish, and the side mirrors. The reflective surface is not reflective. The model carries WA registration plates. One thing this model does not have is the reverse intake bonnet scoop. Photos of the real car in the magazine have the scoop, but it's not on the model. I'm no expert on road cars, so if you know why this might be the case, let's know in the comments. The Cobra has been modelled in this scale by several manufacturers, so how does this XO version stack up against the old Auto Art? While they both look like XE Cobras, there is a variance in some aspects of the shape and sculpting of the body. From the front, they look very different, particularly the proportions of the headlights and the ride height. I think each has its own pros and cons. You'll notice the white paint on the Auto Art has yellowed over the years, and like the XO version, no reverse bonnet scoop. The Auto Art has much nicer tyre tread plus redline sidewalls. Again, from the rear, a number of pros and cons for each, main difference being the tailpipes, and the Auto Art has separate tail and spoiler pieces, whereas on the XO it's only the bumper bar and number plate that are separate pieces. And you can see here the rear window shape and roof line are very different from one brand to the other. Interior wise, the XO does not have as much detail, and it's hard to see due to the thick side windows. And as per the previous reviews in this series, underneath there is a big difference. Just basic detail and mounting holes hacked into the underside of the cheaper model, whereas the Auto Art has lots of underbody parts and detail, even including suspension parts and the front springs. I don't have Traxxas Cobra, but I do have one of their XCs, this GS hardtop version, and it's nothing like either of the other two. For $24.99, I reckon this XO XC is decent value. Yeah, it doesn't have the finer detail of the Auto Art, but the only way you'll get an Auto Art version these days is on the often inflated second-hand market. Speaking of which, that will soon be the only way you can get this one too. Already the scalpers are charging $60 for a model that at the time of this recording you can get for $25. Like the other 20-page magazines, the cover has a digital drawing of the car, that's not a photo, and strangely there's an edited Dick Johnson XD Falcon, renumbered and recoloured. Just doesn't make sense. Or does it hint to an XD race version later in the collection? I've got no idea. Anyway, the opening pages include key information and dimensions of the real car, an overview and interesting facts about the Cobra, an article from 1978 about building the 400 Cobras, the FPV GT Cobra on the BF base, a 1976 article in Wheels magazine about the new XCs, including a whole bunch of stats and road test results, and what's coming up in issue 4, back to Holden and the iconic EH in special trim. Now, the model car dimension converter. This will tell you how true to scale a model is. Just enter the dimensions of the real car, measure up your model and enter those measurements, pop the scale in, and whammo, it tells you how far over or under scale each dimension is, which is pretty cool. To get it, just go to my website and download it. It's free, there's no catch, no sign up or anything like that. Just go to wixie500.com, click the links menu and you'll be able to grab it. It's a Microsoft Excel file and will work either in the desktop app or the browser version of Excel if you've got a Microsoft account. It will also work in Google Sheets, but if you're not that great with spreadsheets, just be a bit careful in Google Sheets because it's possible to break it, but it will open and it'll work fine. If you want to know more about this Australian Cars Diecast model collection, go watch this video that explains what it's about and the first 12 models in the series.